Welcome everybody to another Pillar Talk Reloaded with BrainJerk Entertainment. I have my co-host to my left, Spooky,
Hello,
also
hello.
known as Stelios and many other names we could probably come up with.
Too many aliases.
All right, we've got some good guests today. We actually had these guests on right before our Juneteenth celebration, so I'd like to welcome Kelly and Lynn.
Thanks
Um,
for having
you
me.
guys would introduce yourselves and your titles and kind of what you do.
Well, hi everybody. My name is Kelly Vining. I am the council person for the city of Monroe, representing the third precinct, and also one of the event coordinators for the third annual Juneteenth family reunion celebration.
Woo! Third
Yeah,
annual.
yes, it's a big deal.
Yes, it is. And my name is Lynn White. Occupation wise, I'm the administrator of the Oaks of Righteousness Homeless Shelter, and I am also a organizer for the annual celebration. So glad to be here. Thank you.
Glad to have you guys. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
So excited. So, man, I'm excited to be part of this Juneteenth celebration because I could tell you I was there last year and we had a lot of fun.
Yes.
There was a lot of happy people and a lot of smiles, and the community really embraces this event. And I just think you guys do such a great job. So, thanks for doing it, and thanks for
Yeah.
letting us be a part of it.
Well, we definitely have to thank BrainJerk Entertainment. I've titled you as our silent partner.
Love
So
it.
only because I mostly communicate with you, but I've letting the group know, BrainJerk, our silent partners. So we appreciate how you get in there. You guys get in there, and you guys were a big hit last year with the family size
Yeah.
tent. So I think you might have sparked something. Hopefully, we can fit all the tents that are coming this year. People were walking by like, "Hey, they have a couch in there."
Yeah, we did have a couch last year.
Yeah, hey, they
It
had it filmed out the tent. Okay,
was a
so
good time, man. We had
yeah,
a lot of
so
fun last
all
year.
the sponsors that you helped us get, and what you contributed here at Brain Jerk to the event is gonna be bigger and better. If you think it was wild last year,
Yes.
Yeah,
with
we
the
got my
kid,
man Polo Frost coming out. I think that's
yeah,
huge.
yeah, and I'm talking to the young people, and they're telling me he's a big deal.
He's a big deal. He just opened
So
up for Method Man and Redman at Spark in the Park there in
see,
Ipsy.
okay,
I've personally, I've been lucky enough to be his guest, Spooky as well, to a show he did where it was scheduled to be like, what was it, Megan the Stallion, Lil Baby, Sada Baby. There was a lot of good artists
wow,
on this
Showing
card,
the deep,
and
Little
he was
Caesars.
right before Trick. So we were in the same dressing room with Trick, got to hang out with
wow,
everybody. Um, Ended up meeting the chief of police there for Detroit. We had a real good
okay.
time up there. Yeah, shout out to Polo, man. He's always
Shout
done
out
us solid.
Polo Frost,
You're a
and we
solid
want to
guy.
really shout out Polo Frost because us old folks had the nerve to ask him to clean up all his lyrics and try to stay as positive as he can. We want to encourage the kids to do big things, and you know how hip hop is going these days.
Right.
And I can say that because I was born the same time
Yeah,
hip hop was born.
yeah.
So I cherish it, and I can respect the new stuff,
It's
but
understandable.
it's a
I
little
get
hurt
it.
my ears a little bit
Yeah.
these
Yeah,
days.
and he
And
understood.
he
Yeah,
agreed,
Yeah, he
and
yeah.
was cool.
that's a big deal.
You have the
That is a
professional.
big deal.
He knows.
Yes.
He's doing shows all over, so he
Spooky's
knows.
actually worked with Polo longer than I have. We've got a great friendship. Polo and I started off as business long before. I think I caught Polo just before he really got really big. He's always been a hard worker and did his thing, but I got to kind of got lucky to meet him and work with him and had him come do some shows for us in our early days as well. And
Yeah.
then now he's so big, he still shows us love and remembers us,
Nice.
the
That's
little guys
wonderful.
down here in
That's
Monroe. So
amazing. And the kid, I don't have his name right off the top of my head, but that's gonna open for him possibly. So I'm excited to hear from him as well.
yes,
Nice.
And did you remember his name, Ryan?
the
Right?
one that I'm having,
Yeah.
Kane Perez.
Okay.
Kane
Yeah.
Perez.
So we're
Okay.
waiting to confirm. He said he had something, but he didn't know if it was going to go. So
Okay. That's
I'm
Okay.
gonna
nice.
actually reach back out to him tonight. Now that you said
We'll
that, and
see.
see, because Kane has got a funny way of doing stuff, and Kane is really into the comical aspect of hip hop. So it's very funny.
Fine.
He did a song called Sugar Poppy where he was talking about Splenda, and
Okay.
it was real funny. So we'll have to
Cool.
see. Instead of being a
Cool.
sugar daddy, he was being their sugar poppy.
And that's what we
Mhm.
talked about as far as this Juneteenth event. because of all the heaviness going on in the world right now, just to get out there and laugh and have fun.
I agree.
It's a big block party.
I agree.
So and you know,
True
this is
family reunion.
this might be a spoiler alert for the fourth annual. But
Walk us through the steps of
okay,
like, the first two and like how it even became
great. Yeah,
about.
yeah. So the first one, well, my little cousin Marissa, shout out Marissa, she had been asking, she comes to me about Black history. What about this? I heard about that. And she came to me about 2015 asking me, have you heard of this Juneteenth? And I'm like, yeah, Juneteenth. It's been celebrated for over 100 years, you know. And she's like, well, we need to do one in Monroe. So it took a minute, but I set about finally pulling it together. And we did that in the back of the community center pre Labor Park. This was before the park was there. So it was just a big parking lot we used to do a lot of events in. And that first event drew close to 500 people.
Nice.
And then COVID came.
Yeah.
So 20, 20 and 21, we didn't do it. While we were having our event over at the community center, Cherie Evans, one of our other event coordinators, was having one in her backyard.
Shout out to Cherie.
Yeah, yeah, she's a big deal with the committee. And she came to me asking about the Juneteenth, and I told her, I don't really want to get involved, but I'll give you all of my contacts. And she said about calling and contacting all those people. And of course, I can never stay out of things. So it just grew bigger and bigger. And then she said, well, I called Omar Furden. And I said, oh, you really messed up now. It's gonna be even bigger.
Yeah.
So several times throughout the one last year, Cherie was like, I didn't know. I didn't know it was gonna be so big. I said, yeah, you brought in the big dogs. We went and got all of our contacts.
Sure.
Omar came to you, and
Yeah.
you saw how it turned out. And
Right.
so now we're back again this
Glad he
year.
did too. Shout out to Omar for coming to us and letting us, get involved.
Yes, yes.
We didn't even know, and from last year to now, we've been thinking about this, and we do a lot of events, but this has been
Yeah,
biggest on the plate for us. I mean, even
definitely.
we really take this very serious, and it's our community. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
We can only grow from
anytime
here.
we can do this, we
Yeah.
wanna be involved. We love it.
So going into the future, we may have outgrown Montague Park. We're gonna see this year. I mean, we have people coming from as far as Chicago, Cleveland, Kentucky. People are coming who grew up here and maybe
Nice.
they're in Detroit or
Right.
Oakland County or somewhere.
Coming back home.
So many people
Yeah.
coming back home.
Right.
So I've been kind of talking to the city about Hellenberg Park for the next one. You got a lot of grass and you got a lot of parking space.
Yeah, a lot more room.
Beautiful on the river.
Yeah.
Orchard Park is another name we've thrown out there up at the Orchard High School.
It's not quite as big. I think it'd be better for the other one.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
But yeah, you take what you can get, I guess.
So yeah, so we may be moving. I think we're gonna outgrow and thanks so much to the Montague family and specifically Priscilla Vincent. She maintains the park there. That's where their family homestead was when they were all growing up in the 50s and 60s.
Oh,
And
wow.
they've managed to keep the land in the family. And so she allows us to be there and take over, and all the neighbors on Elmira, because we pretty much, and Railroad, because we pretty much take over the whole block.
the whole neighborhood. I
Yeah,
mean,
we take over that whole neighborhood.
It's coming from all over. I mean, there was
Yes.
people walking from 3rd Street.
I walked
Yeah.
from my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
people all up and down the block walking
Yeah.
from
Very nice.
all over.
Yeah,
it
so
was-
it's a huge party. This year we're gonna have a few more agencies. So we'll have the Monroe County Library System out with the bookmobile. That's
Oh,
always
that's
a
sweet.
big hit.
Yeah.
And
Silvana Epps said the biggest.
that's
all
my
caps.
daughter.
Yeah. The biggest girl.
Hey,
I know
Nana.
it. Let's get it.
Yeah, so this will be the biggest one thus far. And you know what's so special about it? We've had some great sponsors, and I'm gonna have Lynn get into our sponsors. But it's just small businesses just giving us a little bit at the time and community members
Chip
just
away at
walking
that
up.
budget.
Hey,
You know?
here's 50
Yeah.
bucks.
Yeah.
Here's $100. And the different small businesses around the city and the townships. I mean, they've been amazing. It would be great to have a big corporate sponsor that could just throw us about 10 or 15,000. We might try that next year. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, but what the smaller businesses and everybody giving, the phone hasn't stopped ringing since we started planning back in October or so. And people just been, hey, I can bring this, I can bring that. So yeah, we're excited.
Or some of the vendors that you guys have.
That's a new addition this year too. We've added a vendor show. So you want to tell some of
Read
those?
some of them. Okay, so we have Siobhan Hudson, Arlinda Lee, Kim Ruiz with Shine Your Light Nutrition. We have a Kim from New York, Kimba's Sweet Treats. Valencia, the right way.
Siobhan Hudson, she's a master vendor. She goes all over, and she was out at the market this year, right across from you guys.
Okay, yep.
And her booth is always popping, so I'm hoping she's gonna be a big draw.
We had fun down there at the open air market. That
Oh,
was a
so
good time.
fun! Yeah, this was our second year there. We plan to be there every year, God
too.
willing, and the creek don't rise.
Yeah, we had a good time.
We have several of the cannabis shops: Mint, Pure, Glass Jar, Bloom.
That's beautiful that they
August
jumped on to help.
Meds.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Mint.
I'm
That's one of
sorry-
our sponsors.
I'm sorry
as
that I
well, as
didn't
you
cross
know.
all these people off, but all these people donated, but only Mint is and only Mint and Nirvana is gonna be out there.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Well, we know
possibly-
Mint real well. Those are
Yes.
our people. So
And
shout
Mint,
out to our
speaking
people,
of Mint, they're sponsoring a 3-on-3 basketball tournament.
I was just talking to Vanessa about that. I love that.
I think we
love
got
that.
like 7 or 8
I tell you,
teams.
those are
signed up.
people that I believe in, and they see the bigger vision for the community,
Yes.
and they really want to. They're selective maybe about what they do want to get into, but it's because they want to
Mhm.
make sure they're doing stuff that's for the community.
Yes. She's been
Yeah,
great to
man.
work with,
Yeah.
and her
Vanessa's
concern.
awesome. Shout out to Vanessa and the whole team at Mint.
Yeah, her respect and her concern for the kids and the community was really reassuring. Everybody don't like marijuana. Everybody don't like dispensaries.
And everybody doesn't like alcohol, but at the same
Right,
time,
right.
it's legal. So I think we're at that point now where it's like, can I just say I don't want to hear it no more. I'm sick of hearing it. You know what I mean? To be responsible, do what you love to do, and be responsible about it, and try to. I smoke. Obviously, if you watch the podcast, you know that. But I don't drink. But I have nothing against people that do, as long as it's done responsibly. I mean, obviously, one of our sponsors, speaking of sponsors, is 8 Mile Vodka.
Yes.
Somebody else that is also going to help out and contribute to the Juneteenth thing. I'm told, right? So he's going to provide some alcohol.
EJ's Party Store.
So that's going to be awesome, man.
Yeah. And we have a bunch of the ladies from Beaks and that little strip of bars there. They're all taking the day off, and they're going to come out and bartend.
So wow,
bring your tips
this
out.
community
They'll have
never
the tip
ceases to
jar
amaze
out
me
there.
how people really
Yes.
pull it together when we need them. So
Yes.
So as far as some of the other sponsors, I could inform you guys of those. So we have Highlight Market,
highlight,
Towing.
baby, yeah.
Marv, shout out Marv and the brothers.
Jim's Towing. Thank you, April.
Yes.
Friendly Ford, Pop Rock Progeny. We mentioned 8 Mile Vodka, Oaks Village, the Village Market, Funky Bones Barbecue. They're actually catering the event this year.
Nice.
BrainJerk, of course, Highlander Market, Town Square Market, the Monroe County branch of the NAACP, Eastside Beauty Supply. Shout out Cal.
That's my store.
Lane's Pizzeria, Electric Image Spa, J. Isaac Graphic Designs, Addie's Character Parties, Roy's Market. We mentioned EJ's Party Store, IT on the Go, AFL-CIO, ACC Restoration, DB Auto, and Concrete Cowboy.
Yeah, and
There
we
may be
have
others added.
we have several individuals, like I said, that's just been walking up with love offerings, and so we're gonna recognize all of them
That's
at the
amazing.
event.
Great.
It's amazing.
The top,
Memorial.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's, I mean, we've talked about the food, we've talked about the alcohol and the cannabis dispensaries that are going to come out and provide a good time for the people that are interested in that. Tell us about some of the events and the cool things that are going to happen, because I know of it all.
Yeah.
Most of it, I think, anyway.
I think the biggest, well, I ain't gonna say the biggest, but one of the biggest things is the talent show. Right now, I have 10 acts. I'm not stopping. If you want to call tomorrow and sign up, you can sign up
And
the
what time
day
does that
of,
start? What are we talking
4 p.m.
Okay.
And there's a $300 cash prize.
Oh, yeah.
One
Woohoo.
winner. Last year we split it up between the kids and the adults, and the kids end up blowing the adults out the water.
Right.
So what I'm gonna do is every man for themselves. It don't matter if you're 3 or 80.
I love that. I love
So the best talent is gonna win. We have some great judges. Pastor Boone, Pat, Lito, Miss Crystal, Lito Mendez's wife, Bronco
I'll
McCart.
say we had Bronco out last year for
Yeah,
for
and I
judge. That
told
was
him
cool.
we're not gonna take an intermission this year. So yeah, we're gonna run it straight through. Pastor Johnson from Second Baptist Church, and one of our ministers from Oaks of Righteousness,
I think
Pastor
you got some
Gloria.
beautiful people out here
Yeah,
judging. I
we
love
got
it.
some good people judging. So
So a talent show
course,
that's going to be out of this world.
yes, boxing coach D Mills is gonna do
Yeah.
some stuff out there. He says, people, every time I see him, I'm, hitting them and he said people always want to take a shot at him. So he gonna give the kids a chance to take a shot at him.
So one thing I know, and I know we didn't talk too much about this, but we talked enough, so I'm going to just go ahead and announce this now for anybody that does see it.
Okay.
We're going to have Roy Williams come out. Roy
Yes.
is a professional wrestler now. He was an MMA fighter, very passionate guy, great guy. Roy's going to come out and make an appearance.
Yes.
Get some pictures with the kids, and
he
hopefully have
looks
some
so
fun with
cool.
us.
The kids are definitely gonna love him.
Yes. So another thing is I guess now we have 3 teams for this eating competition.
Wow.
Lane's Pizza has stepped up and said that they've got some high school kids that are going to eat us at house and home.
What?
And Brandon Lane himself is going to be number 4. So I can't wait to see this.
If anybody can do it, a high school student can.
I'm telling you. So I don't know what D has done. I talked to D Mills, and he's supposed to put together a couple of people, or you're going to just pull from the crowd. So if you know anyone that thinks they can eat this box, with
I've been putting the word out.
I need 2 or 3 people.
You guys scared off a couple people last year. They don't even want to try this year. So shout out to Eat My Treats in Southgate.
Yep,
Michigan.
in Southgate, Nathan Allen. Shout out to Eat My Treats. So they'll bring out what's called the big box. The big box. So those of you guys that don't know, what is it, Spooky? 5 pounds of fries, pound or 2 of nacho cheese,
everything.
And then
they say it tasted so good.
Yeah, and it's crazy. So and that they do that at the shop for one person.
Right.
And the only people I've ever seen do it is actual eating competition winners. Like, what do you call those competitors? Like
just eating competitors.
Just like real deal, like national or worldwide eating.
They're trained to do that.
We saw a girl come in with a spoon and beat that box down in what was like 12 minutes or something.
I think I watched that on one of your clips or something. I couldn't believe it. She was a little thing too.
Yes.
Trained.
Yeah.
So I think with 4 people we saw last time, it's still a tall order. It really is. And especially to do it quicker than
how many
2 other
teams?
teams. There's 4 on per team.
Yeah.
So we'll have a nice stage full of people here.
Yeah, and that, don't forget the tarp for the stage.
Yeah, definitely.
But I tell you what, that probably was one of the biggest draws for the crowd last year. They loved that eating show. And when you were throwing the ice cream.
Yes. And I plan to do that again too. So all the kids there will get you some
the
ice
kids
cream
went crazy. So we have a lot. We have a kids zone. So we have a lot going on for the kids this year. Face painting.
The princesses.
The Disney Addie's Closet. They do the Disney princess characters. Bounce houses. I'm trying to get a wet one, but I just don't know how the parents will take that. But that's gonna be
on these kids a hose.
Yeah, right.
They'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
So some toys and buckets and milk jugs and a hose.
Tyler's Exotic.
I forgot about that. Because we actually had some scheduling snafu with him originally early on, and he called me, and I was devastated. And obviously, I know it's not Tyler's fault. Tyler does a lot for us. Same thing with Polo and all these people we work with. Everybody's very loyal to BrainJerk and does us great. So when he called and said that he was double booked and he was in like Grand Rapids or something, I was devastated. I said, Tyler, this is not the event for this,
Yeah.
buddy. Like,
Yeah.
and it was nothing he could do. Well, he called back, I don't know, it was a month later or something, and says, listen, I moved some stuff around and I was able to make it work. He
Great.
felt really bad about it. So he kept trying. And shout out
Thank you,
Tyler's
Tyler.
Exotics.
Yes.
Shout out to Caesar. He's got the coolest monkey around.
Yeah, yeah. And I tell you what, this whole event has went like this because we set a goal to raise $10,000. We had no idea how we were going to do it. And
Close.
so many, you know, in planning events, it's always stuff behind the scenes.
Don't I know?
But when I tell you, God have made a way for everything we wanted from the beginning, like
on
people
there.
canceling, saying they can't come and then calling us back. People saying they can't give and then calling back. Hey, I went up a step and I got you a check now. Literally everything we plan is happening. So, you know, we
You know, and that's a
credit.
testament to your
District-
third
district
annual, because
budget.
anybody that has seen what you did the first 2 years,
Mhm.
like you said, year 1 to year 2, year 2 to year 3, it's like, it's crazy. Different.
Yeah.
So, and I think year 3 to 4 is going to be even bigger than that.
Yeah,
So.
and I think like some people we didn't even have any more room to pack anything up. This stage, and we got to shout out Brand Scaffolding, the guys down at they work out of DTE, but I tell you what, they build us our stage every year. They don't ask for anything.
Wow, I wondered where that come from. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, they've
fantastic.
been doing it since 2019.
Yeah, I
for
expect
us.
that's what, probably $1,000 or something. If you were
Well,
renting,
I
at least
looked one
600,
up. Like, could we buy
$700.
a stage in that size? They were like $3,000-$4,000.
See what I mean? Yeah, even more than I thought.
Yes.
Shout out to the Wilsons for supplying electricity.
The Wilson family,
Man, see,
whose
Right.
property
Takes a village,
back up
Monroe. It
against
really
the-
does.
Yeah, they let us, and
Love
people
it.
donating generators, and
Wow.
we mentioned Funky Bones Catering. That's Chris Briggs and his wife and family.
Yeah, let's talk more about that. What
A
kind
lot
of
of
food are
people
they
know.
doing? What do they do?
Well, we're gonna go soul food,
Of course.
and
I love it.
yeah, so we'll have ribs and chicken,
String beans,
macaroni and cheese,
Yes.
corn on the cob.
I'm getting hungry now.
I know.
Right.
Some
please.
cornbread
Really nice.
I wish we
muffins.
had more of that here, and we don't really have a good soul food restaurant. I have to go all the way to
One
the
day.
city to
You
get
know, yeah.
One day.
You know, we thought about it. I research. It's too much overhead for me.
that. Yeah, the
My
restaurant
kids
business is
really
crazy.
want me to open a
Yeah.
restaurant, but it's so much overhead. But the way people like Chris and them guys are doing it now, they're coming off food trucks and carry outs, and we have a lot of young entrepreneurs in the Orchard neighborhood who are homebound, home-based businesses, and hopefully, you know, speaking from a city perspective, we'll be able to develop a space, and that's in the Orchard East sub area plan. If you want to read it later on, to have places and spaces for small business
Like
and
pop-up
home-based
vendors.
entrepreneurs to be able to just come out.
That's huge.
Yeah, so at the Village Market grocery store, I have a beauty supply store in there, Eastside Beauty Supply. Shout out my kids. I couldn't run it without them. And we do a pop-up vendor market every first Saturday.
Okay.
And we usually get about 10 vendors. And it's usually pretty successful. Sometimes it'll depend on the weather and things like that, or the holiday. But we've been doing that for 2 years now.
Repetition.
Yes.
Stay with
so, yes. So some of the other things, of course, Mint is sponsoring the 3-on-3 basketball tournament.
Man,
That's
see?
also a $300 cash prize.
So there's some money on the table out here, guys.
There's
Come on,
money
there's some
out
money
here.
on the
Listen.
table.
Dominoes.
We got the domino and card tournament.
Oh,
Now, you
man.
do have to register on your own if you want to sign up to get the kitty going. That's going to be $10 per team, 2-man teams, and the best team wins at the end, wins the whole kitty. So last year they had the chess boards out all year. I don't know if y'all want to put some money on that too, but we're gonna have the chess table set up. That chess table never sat empty the whole time, so I love that. Over the years, at different times, we've introduced chess to the young people, so I'm
It's
glad
beautiful.
to see some of them are
Yeah.
still playing. And what else, Lynn, we got going
Shout out
on?
to John Drake. He's on here, and he says he loved working with you guys, and that it's a fantastic community event that you're doing.
Wonderful.
Also got some other comments. We've got Khadija.
That's
Like,
my other baby.
she said she can't wait to eat.
Yeah.
Right.
Sylvana Hudson. Wish
That's
I could
my
be there.
mom.
Hopefully next year.
Shout out, Mom.
Shout out to Mom.
She gonna come help me run my my
Shout out to Eastside
business.
Beauty Supply. So
Yes,
you guys
yes.
don't know where that's at. That's what 4th and
That's
Winchester.
1104 East 4th Street.
Make sure you guys check
We're
that
the
out.
east entrance, down from the market. Yeah,
And of course,
same
go into the
building.
market and check that out. Those who don't know what the market
Yes.
does, I know we've had more than one guest on our show and talked about that market. I think that's a fantastic thing that you guys do down there.
And they're donating to the Juneteenth event. So some of that good food that we're gonna be eating,
I see all the stores down there participated.
All of
that's
them.
awesome.
I was gonna say when
fantastic.
Lynn was reading Highlander Market, somebody might not know what she mean, but we still call it S&S.
We just talked about this when we were down there, the yellow store.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
S&S, and then
I told you there was another name for that one because I still call the other one Mianos, but I can't remember the name of the yellow store.
And
or the
Jim,
Pop Stop.
Jim owned it. Yeah, Jim owned it for years, and now we have a new owner. But I tell you what, every time since he been here 3-4 years, every time we go to him, he gives. And I apologize for not knowing his name right offhand. And of course, Town Square is Mianos. Will always be known as Mianos. So,
of course.
Yes. And Marvin them out at Highlight.
And yeah, I was gonna say they come back still.
They've
Even though they
never
left
stopped.
and did their thing, they never stopped supporting the community. These
Never.
are guys that own that store right there, and now they own Highlight. And in fact, going back further than that, Mason, they owned O'Brien's in E-Course.
Okay.
And I was from down there, River Rouge, E-Course, Southwest Detroit, and knew that, and then moved out here and didn't. And I saw him in the store one time when back as far as Mianos. I said, what are you doing here? And he says, yeah, man, we own this too. And then he moved to Highlight. So shout out to them guys for moving up in the world.
They own the Splash grocery store. I mean, laundromat down there at the corner of.
I didn't even know that.
Monroe and Stewart Road. Yeah.
Good for you guys.
That's the brothers too.
Good for
yeah.
you guys.
So they're always supporting us. We appreciate them. And then we're gonna have some information. This will be new for us, information booths. So we have some people out talking about Alzheimer's. It affects a lot of people in the community, dementia and Alzheimer's, a brain disease. So that'll be good. People can get information. We have a realtor that'll be out there. So if you want to buy a house or whatever,
it's important to connect the community with all these resources.
Definitely.
So
and some other RSVP retired seniors volunteer program, and they're great because they're all over the county doing things. We love the seniors.
And also opportunities if people still want to volunteer. We still have opportunity for volunteers. They can just show up.
Okay. So we are looking for more volunteers.
Yep. We need setup. We need breakdown. We need general operations to manage the grounds throughout the day, make sure there's gas in the generators, picking up trash. And we need, this is the one nobody wants to do. We need volunteers in the kids zones. So if you have, right.
Thought she's over like the porta potties, no worse.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You know, oh, everybody got quiet.
Every
I'll pick up trash.
Yeah, every volunteer. I'll do whatever. Not the kids.
Please, not the kids.
And see, I work for Monroe County Library System, who will also be out there. And I don't want to watch no kids that day because I watch kids in my profession all day long.
Having a good time.
Yeah. So we need volunteers to run the kids zones.
They can take it in shifts.
Yes, and we're gonna give you a free T-shirt, a free Juneteenth T-shirt.
Okay.
I would be remiss if I didn't. You brought his name up already, and I can't believe he said we were a joy to work with because I looked at our email chain and I have emailed this man like 40 something times.
Oh my.
Is it Drake Designs?
John Drake, Nerdy Designs.
Nerdy Designs. Shout out Nerdy Designs.
John does everything for us. Everything. We literally
so
are
amazing
with John. We don't go anywhere else. We don't deal with anyone else. When anyone asks about where to get designs done, we lead them to John.
He definitely has
really
new customers. I think in the whole committee will use him.
He's the best.
He is so
I kid you
great.
not. I mean, I don't say that
he's
because
so
it's our guy. I mean, I wouldn't
gracious.
use him if he's the best.
He's been so gracious because speaking of designs, we started out with a young up and coming designer, Jay Isaac.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Jaden Hawthorne, high school student, respectful.
Beautiful.
You know, Asia Hawthorne.
Yep. Her son, yep.
She was on our committee early on. Her son was doing our graphic design. And he did a good job. And
Yeah.
so I showed John what he did, and John could see how he's really, getting there.
Yeah, we
So
have to link them two together and let John maybe
yes,
show him a thing or two.
that would
'Cause,
be amazing.
yeah, he
Yes.
really is very talented.
Yes,
so.
he
Okay, I would
is.
like that.
Yeah, Jaden, he did some great designs for us early on in the process. And John was so gracious to talk about the young man's work and what a good job he thought he did. So I mean, we cannot think, if I can't even go into how much I put this man through, and I'm all nervous like, well, call Ryan because he recommended you. Kept dropping your name because I thought I was gonna run the guy away, but we didn't. And we made it to the end. John, we still got to send you the banners this week. I'll get it to
He's
you.
watching.
Oh, shout out Lamore Printing as well.
Oh, Lamore
Did a great
Printing.
job with the
You know, I
flyers.
sit on the council with Brian Lamore, and
Okay.
we've actually been using Lamore Printing for over
Years.
20 years.
Yeah.
So
Hometown feel.
yeah, we like to support local businesses, and he's been great getting all of our printing jobs done. So we really appreciate Lamore Printing.
Beautiful.
He probably don't want everybody to know, but he gave us a real deep discount, and we really
Well, that's love, man.
appreciate
That's
it.
good.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
community needs to help each other.
Yes. Are we missing anybody? D Mill's gonna be out there. He doing a couple things, so that's gonna be exciting.
And if we did miss anything, we just ask that everybody charges it to our head and not our heart.
Yeah, because our heads is crazy right now. Okay, I don't even know what day it is.
We're just
Sometimes.
ready for the event.
Yes.
Can partake of the festivities. We know it's going to be awesome.
And that was a big thing that we did because Cherie cooked all that food last year.
Yeah.
That was a lot of food.
Dude, let me tell y'all how good God is. We didn't have a real plan. we had a menu, but we didn't have logistics together. Like, how's this food gonna get transported? All this. We had a bunch of ideas. Like Pastor Boone let us bring the warming,
Yeah.
I
these
remember that was
huge
there, yep.
restaurants. It needed an adapter for the generator. It was Sunday. All the hardware
Yeah.
stores were closed.
Yeah.
Walmart was the only one who had one. Nobody wanted to ride out to Walmart and grab
And I
it.
don't think we have since then either.
We was
Thank God we won't need those.
yeah,
this year.
yeah. So, but we ended up leaving 10 pans of food over at the church. But do you know a young man passed away, and we did their funeral repast dinner, and we were able to use all that food we left at the church,
Wow.
and we served every single morsel
Wow.
of that food, so
Yeah.
nothing got wasted.
That's awesome.
So
It was
you
some
know,
good
this is the
food,
type
too.
of stuff
Shout
that
out to
happened.
Cherie.
And that's community.
Yes.
That's community.
Yes, Cherie cooked all that food, and she didn't really get to enjoy.
She was
So
running around with a chicken with her head cut off.
it
I
was
seen her.
crazy.
Yeah,
It was too crazy. So we said last year we're
Collectively.
catering it next year.
That's awesome.
So
Let's
now we
refresh
don't
and
have
deal
to
with
do
it.
nothing. We did a few little things working with Chris and his wife,
Yeah.
but nothing much. I mean, we got a couple bushels of corn from Cholinos and some watermelons, and other than that's easy. So
And the firemen are doing the red pop.
yeah, every year, I got to shout out my guys at the Monroe Fire Department. They are, they always bring, so Juneteenth, the holiday, the significance, red is a really significant color in the holiday. It represents the blood of the people who fought and died for their freedom. You know, a lot of people like to say, "Oh, the Union Army rode in on their horse and they freed the slaves." No, the enslaved people always fought and died not to be slaves because they were not slaves; they were enslaved, put into this position of slavery. So a lot of blood been spilled on American soil for many, many years. So I always like to remind young people, when people tell you somebody freed us, okay, thank you for whatever you did, but nobody freed us. We took everything we got up and through the civil rights movement, up and through today. Every movement that's made in favor of Black Americans, we had to take it, we had to force it. So I like to remind people nobody gave us nothing. And even while the Union Army was riding into the states that had refused to secede at that point, what they call the rebellious states, they were burning down black towns all along the way. The Union Army was doing that. And so I just want people to know that that's why you see a lot of shirts that say uh, 1865 free-ish. Because after that Emancipation Proclamation, they came in with the sharecropping system and eventually the prisons, the penal system, and there's always been another way to try to oppress Black Americans. And so, we don't want to get too heavy with it. That's why you won't hear at our events the status quo story about Juneteenth. You won't hear it because we know that, and I'll leave it at this, nobody gave us anything. We fought and took everything. And so red is really significant
I think
color.
people are still fighting.
Yes, to this
So
day. And red is really
it's a little early to
significant.
call it still, and
Yeah.
that's a damn shame.
Yes, it
You know what I'm
is.
saying?
And so red pop, it used to be hibiscus tea was what they would use back then, but now we just use Fago red pop and watermelon, um red velvet cupcakes, any kind of red strawberries. They would have those type of things at the events. And what I like to say is how I believe Juneteenth from my research grew was through slavery, families were really separated. So when they did get the message that slavery was being abolished in that state, um, they met back up that very next year, and that was because they had went out and found, hey, do you know cousin Frank and them got a school over here 3 towns over
Right.
that you could send your kids to? Did you know mom Mabel
We're able to
opened
get
a
together and
general
pool
store
resources and
2 towns over?
Yeah.
So they would meet back up every year
That makes sense.
to be able to uplift and inform one another. So, and that's why I've always pushed the committee to say, no, I don't want to get into the status quo. This was about uplifting one another, about self empowerment and self improvement, coming from an enslaved state into independence. So, yeah, that was why they got together. And so, what you would see is everybody would bring their fish and they banana puddings or whatever the food was of the time, and the families would sit around and get information while the kids would play and have fun. So we wanted to mimic that.
I love
So-
that, and I love the fact that we are able to break bread together and share. And
Oh
as
gosh,
a community,
definitely.
that really that's what does it for us as BrainJerk. I know that my family, that's how everything we've done has been built
Yes.
by food, through food,
Yes.
through
Yes.
togetherness and
Yeah.
love. So
Yes.
this
We
is
had
amazing.
so much fun out there. And I don't want anybody to be under any misconception that this is a bunch of black people out. If we
I've been
didn't have
schooling them, too.
we had every race, religion, creed, and color out there.
Mhm.
And all kind of people from all over the county and beyond. So yeah, everybody's welcome. Do you know we didn't have not one incident?
Not one. I did know that.
Not one
I got to tell
incident.
you that I was very proud to be down there and be a part of that event. And
I
I'd love
was,
to. I want to
Probably
see
the
it just like
worst
that
that
again.
happened, we may have moved the parking blocks out of the way, down at the
Yeah,
ends of the
yeah.
street.
But this
Get
year,
cars
thanks,
through.
shout out to Director Tolstead, Chief Tolstead, I call him, our police chief for the city of Monroe. He's gonna bring these heavy duty barriers this year, so you people will not be able to just move them.
Ain't nobody moving the barriers this
Right.
time.
Yeah, he's gonna bring the heavy duty stuff out. So
What
that
time
they-
do we come in for vendors? What time do you have them setting up?
Oh Lord,
Putting you on the spot.
I didn't bring my sheet. My
'Cause I know
cousin.
we start at 2 officially, right?
Yeah,
the
so I
event
think
starts-
vendors can
before that.
start setting up at noon.
Okay.
They gotta have all their cars and stuff moved out by 1:30.
Okay.
So we're giving them like an hour and a half. Shout out Downtown Business Network. I stole all their stuff and replicated it. Please don't sue me for the intellectual
That's funny.
property. But yeah, they do such a good job organizing this huge. 120 vendors.
Yeah.
That's huge. So I mimicked and just tweaked it to our little smaller show. But Yeah. So they have to be moved out by 1:30. Um, we'd like them to stay the entire time because it's so many people. It'll be difficult
If
to
he
get
just said,
out of there.
don't forget the lawn chairs, people. Do not forget
Don't
your
forget
chairs.
Bring your chairs, and
umbrellas,
we're gonna have
coolers,
quite a
beer
few
coolers.
pop-up tents out there this year. It was a lot of sun out there last year and not a lot of shade. So we're gonna provide several just 10 by 10 pop-ups throughout the park where you can stop and get you a little shade. Everything has grown this year. We had 2 food tents last year. We got 3 this year. Just everything has grown. Eat My Treats is gonna be out
So yeah, I didn't
making
get to touch on that.
sliders.
Yeah, so Nathan is gonna come out from Eat My Treats. Shout out to them again. Thanks so much,
Yes,
guys, for
thank
always
you.
being here for us. He loves Monroe, and they're all the way in Southgate, but they're still coming out. He's gonna come out and do like 100 some sliders, and he's gonna cook. He's got the grill out and everything. He's gonna do it right there.
Yeah.
And then Kelly actually provided us with a fryer,
Deep
a deep
fryer.
fryer to do the fries. So he's gonna be able to cook everything right on site. And for the competition and for the community day, shout out to Lane's Pizza. He'll be coming out and bringing
Yeah.
pizza. At some point, he's playing it right
Yes.
around the eating competition or for polo,
Yeah.
passing out pizza to everybody.
Mhm.
So I love the different times because
Yeah.
dinner's at what time? What time are we serving dinner?
We're gonna serve dinner from 3 to 5.
So even that's beautiful. Everybody, and then you got those late comers.
So that's
or-
what I'm
Right,
saying.
the late
People
comers.
There's gonna
stroll
be
in
food coming
throughout
at
the
all
day.
times, man.
Yes,
So-
that's amazing. I'm really
All-
excited about
all
that.
free of charge.
Everything
and
is
free
free.
of charge. That's huge.
Everything is free
Wow.
except the vendor tables, and yeah, everything else is free.
Yep.
If you want to leave the band a tip, if you want to leave the face painters a tip,
Bartenders.
and the
Much
bartenders,
appreciated. Yeah.
feel free. We're gonna
These are
have
people that
tip
are
jars
volunteering
out
to
for
come
them.
out. If we
Yes,
can make them a little money, that would always be nice.
definitely. And face painters are so expensive. I think I'm gonna start their tip dryer out with $20 myself because I had no clue. They
Yeah.
charge a lot.
They do.
So yeah. The high schoolers, Monroe High School, they started a new step team.
I saw that on the flyer.
Yeah,
Tell us
they're
about the
gonna
step
be
team.
there, and it's good to let the young ladies get some exposure. And
That's
stuff.
awesome.
And then we have a
Shout out to
group
Asia,
from
I think
Greenwood. Yeah, Asia.
Hawthorne.
Is it Hawthorne?
Asia- Well, I think she made the connect with Monroe High School.
Oh yeah, with the
Steppers.
I
Step
believe they're
dancers.
called the Elite Steppers. But there's also a group of young people that we've been working with for years from Greenwood townhouses, and they're led by a mom named Aisha, and she works with them every day out at the Greenwood site, and they've been dancing for us for years for our events, and they're gonna come out and put on a little performance. And so, like I said, we got Minister Lito Mendez as the MC. So be prepared to laugh your butt off. He is so funny.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
So it's stuff going on that whole day. I'm telling you. And like Lynn said, if you want to volunteer, let us know. We'll give you a free T-shirt and
Awesome.
all the
Nice,
appreciation in
Perfect.
the world.
Yeah.
And even our bar is open bar.
That's awesome.
I mean,
Yeah.
where they do that at, Ryan?
Yeah, they don't.
You
So,
know.
this
So-
is awesome.
You saw it here.
It's a big deal. Yeah. It's a really big deal. And we are gonna have a little more police presence this year. Not that it's even necessarily
Listen,
needed.
they were
but
out here racing with the
I was
kids
gonna
last
say,
year. I
what
had fun with
happened,
the
they
police.
had
Shout out
so-
to our Monroe Police Department.
yes, they had so much fun.
And them
Everybody
guys
wants to be
full
there.
of gear, and we're racing,
Yeah.
and that was a good time. We
The
had fun.
crazy part
Our own
about
Josh raced in D Mills,
it.
and
Yeah.
Oh,
The
So,
crazy part, and I forget the guy's name, the officer's name, but he has the handlebar mustache, the thick mustache, young kid. He ain't been around too long, but he almost beat D Mills by
I know
just
who you're talking- yeah,
a hair
Is it Wilhelm?
in full uniform
yeah, all the gear.
with all his gear on.
That's good though. Make
Yeah.
us feel protected.
He in good shape.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Was that
Keith
Officer
Farnham, he
Wilhelm?
says, "Let's go! Great
Don't get
time,
me
great
lying. We gonna
conversation
hire him
during the
with
show
Pam.
today. We love you, Keith.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in." So, listen, where can they find you guys at on social media or anywhere? How do we contact you guys for all this upcoming stuff? And
If you want information, you want to join us, and we still have space in the vendor show. I think maybe a couple spaces left. or the talent show, you can contact us at Monroe Juneteenth at gmail.com.
Beautiful.
Or you can call me directly, Kelly, at 734-819-7676. And we also have a Facebook page, and it is the 3rd annual Juneteenth family reunion celebration. It's a mouthful, but we thought it was important to let everybody know this is a family reunion.
I love it. No, I love it. I really do.
We go from 2 to 9 p.m.
2 to 9.
Montague Park,
Yep.
624 Elmira, Michigan.
Elmira Avenue.
Elmira, Michigan.
What I say?
Elmira Avenue,
Michigan.
Monroe, Michigan.
Elmira Avenue, Monroe, Michigan.
Yeah, beautiful.
And I mean, if you ain't there, I really don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Be there or be
true.
square.
You know.
Even if you just come for a little bit, you got to get off
Yes.
work and swing by. It's
Yeah.
definitely gonna be a good time. There'll be things going from 2 to 9.
Yes.
It's gonna be fun, so don't miss it.
So much fun.
I would like to say thanks to our sponsors. I was having such a good time talking. I almost forgot to mention we have some
Yeah,
great
sponsors,
sponsors on
of
Pillar Talk. Obviously, the Monroe County Reporters.
Yeah.
They share our show. We get a lot of likes and views from that.
Keep me informed.
Shout out to Ryan and Shane.
Yes.
This is where we go for those accidents or anything in town.
Anything.
They're already on it, right?
Yes.
So they do a 99-cent subscribe thing for anybody that wants to subscribe. I recommend doing
Okay, I
that. It's
gotta
99
sign up.
cents. We catch some stuff earlier than everybody else, but more and less, I like to try to support these guys because this is our news. So,
Yeah.
And they're
um,
friends of Oaks. Definitely.
of course, Amaya's. Shout out to Tino.
Oh yeah,
The
Tino.
little brown jug
We
Raymond's
love 'em.
Pizza.
Vodka.
and
Yeah.
Mugsy's and the Sports Center. So
Great.
Yeah.
8 Mile Vodka.
Thank
So
you all.
thanks
Mugsy's
all
in,
you guys
in the
for
Sports
sponsoring
Center,
BrainJerk.
best sweet chili wings in town.
Man, man, oh man.
Gotta love them.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. That was Pillar
Thank you
Talk
for
Reloaded,
having
episode
us.
17. We'll see you guys next week. Actually, we'll see you Friday for
Yeah,
a very
Friday.
special guest, Saving Abel, the rock band from the 90s and to now. Very popular. Last I looked, he had like 28 million views on a video that he's
Wow.
got. Very, very, very popular. If I played the song, I think you would even know who he was.
Probably.
Friday,
Big deal.
special
1
time.
o'clock.
I'll be
1
tuned
o'clock.
in.
Yep.
Make sure you guys tune into that. It's gonna be crazy, man.
Awesome.
So
Definitely. And
he's
thanks
out
for
in LA,
having
so
us.
he'll be zooming with us, but it'll be a great time.
Cool.
So
Thanks
thank you
for
guys so
having
much.
us.
Yes,
Thank you
thanks.
very
Thank
much.
you. We'll see you guys
Good night,
on Monday.
everybody.